Hey now, what is up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I'm here to finally talk about and review Prometheus. Prometheus is a 2012 film that technically is a prequel, kind of, sort of, in the Alien franchise. It is directed by Ridley Scott, coming back from that original Alien movie to continue or build off of what he started. The plot is we meet Noomi Rapace as Elizabeth Shaw. She's this scientist who she has a theory that basically us humans were created by aliens. Kind of like Scientology. Although she discovers this proof that sort of supports her theory. Her and her husband or boyfriend, they team up with Wayland Industries, this crew with them, and they go out into space. They find this planet to find these engineers who seemingly created us, and to find out why did they create us, why did they abandon us, and why do they now want to destroy us. Now, what I think of Prometheus is I still enjoy this movie. I do. I still enjoy it. I can sit here and watch it now, and there's many things about it that I do enjoy. But when I first saw this in theaters, I remember loving it and just loving so much about it. And I feel like years later, this happens sometimes where I feel one way about a movie, and then years later, after rewatching it so many times, I start to pick things apart. I start to notice more flaws about it. And I feel like that's what happened here. First, let me talk about Noomi Rapace, who I think is a great actress. I've seen her in other things where I'm like, wow, she delivers. And I don't feel like this is her fault with this movie, but I feel like her character's a little underwritten. They try to splice in some backstory or some, at least, memories of her and her father when she was a kid and all this stuff, but I want to know a little bit more about her and why she's so passionate about this theory she has and why she's so... I do think that once shit starts to hit the fan and once she gets thrown into some fucked up situations, she does deliver. Once again, as an actress, she brings it. But again, character-wise, I didn't really connect with her maybe as much as I wanted to. Logan Marshall Green plays Charlie Holloway, who's her guy, like I said. And I talk about not knowing enough about a character. He's just here just to be here. Honestly, and he comes off douchey for a good portion of this movie, especially towards the character David. David, played by Michael Fassbender, who, great actor, but the character too is very interesting. And I feel like Charlie's just treating him like shit. And if they had established that maybe he had something personal against robots or there's some weird hang-up that he has, he just talks to him in messed up ways, makes all of these comments and remarks, and just being a douche. So, like, when something happens to him, I'm like, I don't really care that much about it. Sorry, dude. Idris Elba plays the captain of the ship, who I feel like script-wise, writing-wise, there's nothing to his character, but him as a person is so fun, so charismatic, has so much of a personality that he just naturally brings that to the role. He comes off so likable in his scenes where he's kind of messing around with the crew, or the one scene he has where he pretty much woos Charlize Theron, and you're like, wow, this guy's cool, man. I really like him. And that's all Idris Elba. Charlize Theron, like I said, she plays Meredith, who is the daughter of Wayland. So she pretty much is overseeing this mission. She feels very much in charge or empowered. And in some ways, I get that. Her money's invested in this. I just feel like 95% of this movie, she comes off as such a bitch. Such a... you know what, so unlikable, and really for no reason. A lot of this crew, they don't get along, they don't really like each other. I understand that some of them might not even buy into Noomi Rapace's theories, and maybe but it's like, why can't this crew get along? Why is the characterization of Alien, for example, of that crew, so much different than what we're getting here? I feel like a lot of, especially the side crew people, are unlikable or just dumb. Like, they do some dumb things, like the two guys who get stranded in that cave area, and they're messing around with the snake alien and just doing really dumb things. And the one scene where Charlie, just when they first get in there and he just takes his helmet off, oh, I'm sure it's fine, I'm sure it's okay. It's like, dude, you're a scientist. What are you doing? What if it wasn't okay? What if you just choked and died, or got contaminated, or infected by whatever is in the air? This is a different planet. Anyways, Guy Pearce plays Peter Weyland, Guy Pearce, great actor. I really like Guy Pearce in general. I just find it odd, the casting of him as Peter Weyland. Just, they had to pack on so much old makeup onto him to look, I don't know, 40 years older than he really is. You almost wonder, why didn't they just cast an older actor? Not as old as they wanted him to be, but just an older actor so that you didn't have to put so much makeup on, maybe just a little bit so that it looked more realistic. Michael Fassbender, though, I want to talk more about him because he plays David. David is a robot that he's like my favorite character here, which is odd because he's not even human. He doesn't have human emotions and feelings, not really. Obviously, he does take offense to some of the things that Charlie says, and some of the stuff that David does is questionable. Ultimately, he's doing what Peter might want him to do. He's even sort of at odds with Charlize Theron, but his character is interesting. You're always constantly wondering what he's thinking. The scene at the beginning where he's the only one awake on the ship and he's watching movies and he's just taking in almost American culture, and it's fascinating to see him play the robot too, because he's so good at it. He knows the mannerisms that really make you buy into it. I want to talk about the effects. The effects are gorgeous. That's something I could say this movie gets perfectly, is the special effects, is the scope of this planet. It looks beautiful. I remember watching this in 3D at the time, and big screen. It's like, wow, this looks great. The engineers, I can say in concept that's sort of interesting, but a lot of it, like everything that this movie wants to set forth of like, why did they do what they did? Why did they create us? Why are they against us now? We don't get any of these answers. And it's a little frustrating because I feel like we had plenty of time, plenty of opportunity to maybe get to know them as beings, as creatures, but all of the scenes with them feel a little wasted. I'm just going to talk about it because as much as this was almost built as a prequel to Alien, it's almost like they also try to say it wasn't really a prequel to Alien, or it was like its own thing. It's in the neighborhood of Alien, but not exactly. And in the very end, when that big, huge squid monster that came out of Noomi Rapace's stomach, insane scene, but it engulfs the engineer, goes into his mouth, like really mouth rapes him, and then what I thought at the time was a xenomorph, like a baby xenomorph, but no, it's now what they say is a nenomorph, whatever that is. I do wish that this felt more like an Alien movie. I can respect and appreciate that they did try something different, that they were going for something different, but at the same time, you do miss those xenomorphs. You do miss the things that we know and love from the series. So this movie, not bad. I don't think it's bad at all. I think it had potential to be a great movie, and it just narrowly falls short of that. I think it's just a good movie. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Prometheus? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!
Please won't you save my desire?